not doing your duty. So, purport. There are three considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. Capricious work means actions without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. Thus, he is the enjoyer or sufferer of the result of such actions. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Routine work performed as an obligation in terms of the scriptural injunctions without desire for results is action in the mode of goodness. Work with results becomes the cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his proprietary right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna. Again, the translation is, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि घोर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So this verse from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita from chapter 2 verse number 47 is one of the famous verse from the Gita which many people, especially from India, are familiar with. And this verse also brings out some questions, common questions that comes out. One of the questions that comes up is, if I have a right to perform my duties, prescribed duties, but I do not have a right over the results, then what is the motivation? Right? Why should anyone be motivated to do their duties? Oftentimes, or most times, our motivation to do something is based on the results. So there are some results that we eagerly seek, and there are results that we try to avoid. For example, if somebody is working in an office and working on a project or some assigned work, the motivation to do that work, one, of course, is the salary that one gets, because without doing that work, there's no reason for the employer to pay you. Shri Shri Nitai Sachinandan Dev Bhagavan ki Jai. Shri Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Dev Bhagavan ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, many times, the motivation to do that work is because of the salary that one receives. So there is an economic motivation. In other cases, the motivation could be in terms of recognition from one's colleagues, one's manager, etc., that yes, you did something good. So there is some kind of a expectation of some kind of a result, that I am doing this work, I should find success in it. And there is also an attachment to not get something negative. Like, for example, we do not want to hear criticism, right? So we try to avoid, we want to make sure that nobody criticizes us. So that's usually the motivation. So if in this verse, Lord Krishna is saying you have a right to perform your duties, but you are not entitled to the results of such activities. Many people have this question, then what is the motivation to do work, right? So one has to understand the why or who we are working for. And the other question that usually comes up is, does this verse mean that we cannot be ambitious? We cannot set goals, right? Are we not allowed to do that? So one has to understand this difference between goals and results. Yes? Goals are what you set before you do the work. Results are what you obtain after doing the work. So Krishna at no point says that one should not set goals. We see that in the example of Arjuna. So Arjuna in the battle of Kurukshetra, for example, he set a goal to kill Jayadratha. This was after he heard the Bhagavad Gita, correct? He fought in the war. And in the course of the war, his son Abhimanyu was killed treacherously. And Arjuna set a goal to kill Jayadratha, who was instrumental in that, by the end of sunset, by sunset the next day. And Krishna actively facilitated Arjuna to achieve that goal. So that shows that Krishna is not against setting goals. Arjuna also is a champion archer. So he was the great